Speak Amazon domain name equals news greater than a vast, empty prairie stretches to the horizon. The wind blows across tall grass. The silence is absolute. This is the unassigned lands. 2 million acres of untouched territory. It sits in the heart of what will become Oklahoma. The year is 1889. The United States government has made a monumental decision. This land will be given away. For free. It will be settled in a single, unprecedented event. A land run. A race for a future. The official story is one of fairness. A level playing field for all. At the stroke of noon, on April 22, a signal will be given. Tens of thousands of hopeful pioneers will surge across the border. They will claim a 160-acre plot. They will build a new life from the soil. It is a powerful, romantic image. A cornerstone of the American West myth. But this story is a lie. The race was rigged before it even began. The land was not as empty as it seemed. Hidden truths lay buried beneath the prairie dust. This is the story of America's wildest race. And the thousands who cheated to win it. They had a name. They were called Sooners. They were ghosts on the prairie. Phantoms who moved in the dead of night. Weeks before the official run, they were already there. They slipped past the cavalry patrols. Soldiers were posted to guard the borders. But the territory was vast. The border was long and impossible to secure. The Sooners were masters of deception. Some disguised themselves as U.S. deputy marshals. Others posed as railroad workers or government surveyors. They carried forged papers and a confident swagger. Many simply hid. They dug into creek beds and deep ravines. They survived for days, sometimes weeks. Their only companions were the elements and their own desperate ambition. They rationed hardtack and muddy water. They remained motionless for hours as patrols passed by. Every shadow could be a soldier. Every sound could mean discovery and arrest. Their goal was simple. To reach the best plots of land before anyone else. Land with timber. Land with fresh water from a creek. Land near a proposed railroad line. This real estate was worth a fortune. It was worth breaking the law for. As the official day approached, the tension at the border was immense. An estimated 50,000 people gathered. They came on horseback. They came in covered wagons and simple carts. They came on the steam locomotives that pushed right to the edge of the territory. The trains were packed. Men clung to the roofs and cowcatchers. The starting line was a chaotic sea of humanity. Farmers beside merchants. Families beside lone opportunists. All stared at the empty land ahead. They were bound by a single, burning desire. They were 12 o'clock men. The legal settlers. They believed the race was fair. They had no idea the best prizes were already taken. High noon approached. Cavalry officers checked their pocket watches. The air grew thick with dust and anticipation. Horses stamped nervously. Men gripped their reins. A bugler raised his instrument. A cannon was primed. This was the signal the world was waiting for. The shot that would start the stampede. The sound cracks across the prairie. It is a deafening roar. The bugle sounds its call. A wave of humanity breaks. It is a thunderous, unstoppable flood. Horses scream. Wagons crash together. Wheels splinter. The ground trembles under the weight of thousands of hooves. The dust cloud rises for miles. It blots out the sun. It is a vision of pure chaos. A desperate, frantic scramble. Men on fast racehorses surge ahead. They are the sprinters, aiming for the quickest claim. They leap over ditches and plow through brush. Their only goal is a wooden stake. A simple marker to claim their 160 acres. One rider pushes his horse to its limit. He sees a perfect plot. A gentle slope near a stand of cottonwood trees. A stream runs through it. This is it. This is his future. He dismounts, his hands trembling. He pulls a pre-carved stake from his saddlebag. He is about to drive it into the ground. But then he sees it. Another stake. Already there. It is weathered, as if it has been in the ground for days. From behind a tree, a man appears. He holds a Winchester rifle. He is calm. He looks well rested. He has been waiting. He is a Sooner. Arguments erupt across the plains. A settler arrives, breathless and exhausted. He finds a family having a picnic on his land. Their wagon is already unpacked. Their children are playing by the creek. They claim they made a record-breaking ride. The settler knows it's impossible. But how can he prove it? There are no judges here. There is no law. The only authority is the threat of violence. A Colt revolver becomes a legal document. Possession is more than 9/10 of the law. It is the only law. The race for rural claims was chaos. But the race for the cities was madness. Several sites had been designated as future towns. Guthrie. Kingfisher. Oklahoma City. These were just points on a surveyor's map. But they were destined for greatness. The railroad lines ran through them. Claiming a town lot was like winning a lottery. Sooners knew this. They hid near the town sites. Some hid inside the railroad's water tanks. Others burrowed into the haystacks at the train depots. When the signal came, they didn't have to race for miles. They raced for yards. They sprinted from their hiding places. They hammered stakes into the most valuable lots. The future main streets. The corner lots where banks would stand. Within minutes, the best real estate in a city that didn't exist was gone. Then the trains arrived. They were filled with legal settlers. The doors burst open. People poured out, racing to claim their own town lots. They found a landscape already peppered with stakes. And Sooners standing guard. Fights were immediate and brutal. Survey lines were ignored. Men staked out the same lot. Claim clubs formed instantly. These were vigilante groups. They created their own rules. They held their own courts to settle disputes. Their justice was swift and often violent. By sunset on April 22, a miracle had occurred. Where there was empty prairie at dawn, cities now stood. Guthrie was a tent city of 10,000 people. Oklahoma City was a sprawling camp of thousands more. Streets were laid out. Provisional governments were elected. A mayor was chosen. A police force was deputized. All in a single afternoon. These were instant cities, born of chaos and desperation. Life was primitive. Water was scarce and often contaminated. Food was sold at outrageous prices. There was no sanitation. No infrastructure. Yet, there was a society. People established businesses from the back of their wagons. A man with a printing press began publishing a newspaper. A woman sold pies baked over an open fire. It was a testament to human ingenuity under extreme pressure. The legacy of the Sooner is complex. Initially, the word was an insult. A cheater. A thief who stole a fair chance from an honest man. To be accused of being a Sooner could get you run out of town. Or worse. Legal battles over claims clogged the courts for years. Settlers had to prove they had not entered the territory sooner than noon. But history is written by the victors. Over time, the shame faded. The meaning of the word began to change. Sooner became synonymous with being clever. Being a go-getter. An enterprising spirit who saw an opportunity and seized it. The cheater transformed into a folk hero. A symbol of the state itself. The University of Oklahoma proudly adopted the name. The Sooner State became Oklahoma's official nickname. The 1889 land run was not a simple race. It was a raw, complex human drama. It exposed the deep-seated impulse for order. And the overwhelming temptation of chaos. It tells us that history is rarely the clean, heroic story we are told. The truth is often messier. It is written in the margins. It is found in the stories of those who bent the rules. Those who hid in the shadows. Those who looked at an empty map and saw a future worth stealing. The cities they founded are still there. A lasting monument to a single day of madness. And the hidden truth behind America's wildest race. Less than /Amazon domain/speak.